So we started to, uh, and let's go to 4451. Okay.
Hmm? Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good. So this session, we want to talk about the organizational change and change management. Also, you can find the change management topic in all aspects of your life, individual life, social life, financial life, economic life, and also organizational occupational life, including organizational change and change management. The topics are summarized the dominant forces for change in organization and describe the process of planned organization change and discuss several approaches to organization development. Three, explains resistance to change, very important. Identify the keys to managing successful organization change and development and describe organizational learning. And that's it. Forces for change. Do you remember these parts? Let me check it again.
Mm.
Hi.
Does this one working?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mm.
I want to suggest you that go out and come again. Sometimes it is like mobile. If you want to reset your mobile, it is only turning off and turning on again. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So, what is the definition of change? How can you define the change? And what is the differences between change and other words like change? We said about it, about change, modification, and other parts.
The
Mm.
greatest form of change is transformation.
Oh, transformation is very high level of change, very deep, very
Yeah.
deep. For example, if you check my Instagram profile, it says that I'm a transformational life coach. Transformation is very deep about your ideas, about your personality, about your interpretation of the events around you, about your mindfulness, especially. And we have four levels. At first, it is modification. Second, change. Third, transcendence. And four, transformation. So, transformation is the last and the final level of change. What's the difference between modification and change? We talk about it here, basically. Is modification modifying the same changing or not?
Modification is just taking something and um, altering it slightly, maybe to make it better, or
Uh-huh.
change can be altering it completely, like a
Yes.
new.
In modification and change, you have some alteration only in the quantity and the same level. It is not about the quality, it is about the quantity. It is about the better, making better at the same level. Very details, very lower level of changing is called modification. Higher level of modification is called changing. But it is not about the quality, it is about the quantity. But when we entering the different level of changing, a different level of development, a different level of altering other parts of your body, of your mind, of your society, of your organization, at first, sometimes it is not permanent. It is called transcendence. Transcendence, also, we have a very good movie, so called by the title of Transcendence. I recommend it. It is not about the business. Okay, I know. But it's a very good movie. Transcendence is a very good movie. It's about grasping some different changes. Sometimes you have an enlightenment in your life, but it is not permanent. It is transient, temporary. If transcendence become your lifestyle, it is called transformation. It is not about the grasping and immediate access to some forms of other parts of consciousness, other parts of enlightenment in your life. But when it is permanently, it is called transformation. So literally, we have four words here. At first, it is about modification. Second one is about change. Third, transcendence. And final, it is transformation. But we are not talking about people. We are talking about the organization. Areas of pressure for change or need for change, it is about people, technology, information processing and communication, and competition. So, for example, if you want to create some development in one person in your organization, and want to give him as a leader, as a manager, want to give him very generic and general knowledge. For example, for enhancing his or her managerial or his or her personal leadership roles. It is called leader development. So in leader development, your concentration is in one or two specific persons, but for general knowledge, not a specific knowledge for that person. You want to enhance and increase and develop and improve his or her leadership, for example, roles in your organization. When you want you to focus again in one or two persons, in general knowledge for some groups of your organization, not only for one person. You want to enhance the skills of a specific group, a specific department in your organization. It is called managerial development or supervisory development. So the focus is not on one person or two person. The focus is on training a group of people in your organization. It is called managerial development or supervisory development. If you want or if someone to develop his or her specific, not general, specific knowledge, specific skills, it is called mentorship or coaching, personal development. So in personal development, we educate people, one specific people, for the skills so fitted to him or to her based on his or her strength. It is very customized, very, very customized learning and educating and training. So customized training for a specific person, for his or her skills, it is called personal development. What is difference between personal development and leader development? Leader development is not customized. It is general knowledge for one specific people for his or her leadership roles. But in personal development, we customize training for for him or for her based on his or her strengths. And finally, the fourth grade is about how we can give some customized knowledge, some customized skills to an organization, not in one person, to all people, all team members or department members in an organization, not for one person. It is executive development. A specific knowledge, customized training, customized practicing for all members of a department or organization, or for example, for all managers based on the needs of change in specific needs of change of that given organization. So we have four types of development. We have four types of change. One, leader. It is called executive development. Sometimes it is called leadership development. It is not leader development. It is leadership. Leadership development is at the level of specific organization, and leader development is at the level of general leaders for organization. So we have four types. One, leader development. Second, personal development. Third, managerial development. And fourth, leadership development or executive development. Because of these samples and this model I said to you, we can find the areas of pressure for change. It's a good question. Why people change? It's a very more crucial question. Why people don't change? We have a lot of problems. Some pathologic lifestyles, obesity, eating a lot of bad foods, wasting your time with the garbage things you can find in movies, in your cell phones, and you don't read any good book about your personal growth, about the future, about how you can experience, improve your present moment experience. We have a lot of destroying and destructive habits. So why we don't change? It's a very crucial. Everybody wants to change, but a very, very, very little part of people will change. Many people don't change, never, or don't change at the higher level, very regular, very daily life changes? It's a very important question. As a manager, you should think about it. Why we don't change, how we can change, and what are the elements for creating change in yourself at first as a manager. Every type of management is self-management. Every type of leadership is self-leadership. Every type of coaching is self-coaching at first. Every time. You can see the managers who are not successful in their self-management, they are not good manager in their organization. They had a lot of fluctuating and mood swing. Do you know what's the meaning of mood swing? Mood swing is, for example, in mood swing, changing your mood, changing your emotions, changing your affects so rapidly. You see that, wow, in the beginning of the day, in the morning, he or she is so happy. Near the noon, he has some stressful features, some stressful behaviors. At the end of the day, he or she is so angry. It's mood swing. You cannot predict what are the factors that influence his or her mood, his or her affect, his or her emotion, his or her feelings. It is called in psychology, it is called mood swing, swing of moods. Moods is mean characters, mood is in emotion, feeling, affects, all are moods. Okay? Because of that, every type of coaching is self-coaching. Every type of management is self-management. Every type of experience, at first it is self-experience. So why we as psychologists, as coaches, say everybody, at first, everyone should work on himself, on herself. As Oprah Winfrey says, Oprah has 10 rules for success. Do you know Oprah?
Opera?
Hey, Amy, do you know Oprah Winfrey?
I know opera.
Yeah, everybody knows Oprah, and all women all around the world loves and knows Oprah. Oprah has 10 success rules. You can find it in internet. Oprah Winfrey's 10 success rules. One of the greatest I found, one of the greatest rules I found in all people who are success and happy and influencing. It is very important. Sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are successful, sometimes you are influencer. You can influence and change other people's lives, other people change, other people's minds, other people behaviors. You are influencer. All of them says that one of the greatest and sometimes the most basic principle, the most crucial principle, the most initial principle for influencing yourself and other people is work on yourself. It is very important. So, who am I to work on? I am my strengths. I am my weaknesses. I am my positive points. I am my self esteem. I am my self confidence. I am my self efficacy. I am my self image. I am my body image. All components finally organize and shape a whole organization, so called self.
Mm.
So when the leaders, when the influencers says that work on yourself, we are talking about the working on self. In your patience, in your mindfulness is very, very important. Experiencing here and now is very important. And one of the items that you should work on is emotion regulation. Emotion regulation is very important. How can you regulate, not control, regulate? Regulate is something different from control. Control is sometimes suppressing, sometimes hiding your emotion. We are not talking about the suppressing your emotion, you're hiding your emotion. Also, we are not talking about showing your superficial emotions in every aspects of your life. It is not necessary to show your emotion. Finally, it is not necessary to have some emotions regularly in ordinary situations. For example, when people are frustrated, many people think that they have anger. Anger is the normal response, not the natural response. Anger is the normal response to frustration, but it is not natural. You can feel frustration without any anger. Yes, At least you can find anger, but not aggression. Aggression is not a good response to anger. You can feel anger, but not showing your aggression. Aggression is the behavioral parts of your anger. So, for example, emotion regulation, self-regulation, these are the components of working on yourself. So when will you want to work on the areas of change, at first, you should have awareness of the need to change. Why do we want to change in our organization? It's very important. If you ask many people that, why do you want to change? They said very superficial reasons: for money, for happiness, for being lucky, for my son, for my daughter, for my wife, for my husband, for my family members. Sometimes they are very ambitious, said for the humanity. I think it is not related to you. Are you a prophet to think about the humanity? At first, you should solve your personal problems, and after that, your interpersonal problems. At first, if you can solve and change yourself, and if you can solve or modify your interpersonal with your very near person, very close person, after that, you can think that yes, it's a good sample, it's a good model for copying and pasting for other people to solve the interpersonal, social, political, economical, and other parts. One question is very important. One question is very important. Who do you learn from? And who do you listen to? It is very important. Who do you learn from? And who do you listen to? Is the person who is learning to you that why should you do, for example, achievement? Is he or she successful enough to be eligible to learn or to teach other people how can you be successful? It is very important. Who do you listen to and who do you learn from at first? Secondly, how much do you want to learn? It is called learnability scale. Learnability scale, it is the time and money and effort you are ready to pay, to save, and to earn sometimes for learning. How many times, how much, or how many hours, how many dollars, how much effort you are ready for paying for your success, for your learning. Because we have a model here. Note that at first, it is experience. You have a lot of experience in your life. I also, other people also. A lot of experiences. Is the experience absolutely, naturally ends to learning? No. What is the mediatory factor between experience and learning? When can you say, yes, I have learned from my experience? What is the determining factor between experience and learning? You know, many people with a lot of experience, but they have never learned something. Because of that, I always said that old age is not absolutely the mature people, the wise people, because you know a lot of old age people that they are not wise. Yes, they have a lot of experiences, I know, but why they are not wise? And they say by their ownership that yes, I have so pleasure to see myself as an adolescent, for example, or young adult man or woman. I say, shame on you. What are you thinking and what are you talking about? You are, for example, 50 years and you think that, yes, I am at the age of young people. Only it is about energy. Yes, if you are so fresh like a young man, a young woman, that's good. Why not? But if you think, for example, like a man or woman at the age of 20 and you are at the age of 15, what have you done in these last 30 years? Nothing. So I have a great question. What is the determining factor between experiencing and learning? What should we have here as a mediatory factor? What component we should have After that component, we can say, yes, I have learned from my experience. What is this factor? What a factor can you consider that with the learned experience and that factor will end to learning?
A form of success into achievement, like you achieved
No,
your goal.
achievement is after learning, not before learning. After learning, you will go to development. After development, it is change, hidden factor that I am talking about it.
Mhm.
After that, learning. After that, development. After that, achievement. It is a model. Also, it is not a linear model. It is a circular model. Which item you start, you can find other factors. But what is this factor? Learning and hidden factor, X factor, and after that it is learner. Sorry, experiencing, hidden factor, X factor, and after that it is called learning. Do you know the meaning of learning? What is learning? What's the definition of learning? We
Like
talked about it. I think some of the previous sessions we talked about the definition of learning. Okay, what is the definition of learning? Amy?
like to learn something means like you can like you teach like to other people, like you can get some more
What?
um
Information, data,
like
skills,
informations, or like ideas.
idea. It is about teaching and about education. Learning is not education.
Mm.
Learning is not teaching. Learning is not training. Learning is something more. Because of that, we have some types of learning. For example, observational learning. No data, no information, no classroom, no teaching, no education, but you have a very good stage of learning, so-called observational learning, social learning. It's very important. You observe other people and you learn how can you behave or how can you act in different situations. How can you learn? How can you find the information, find the skill by observing elite people around you? It is called observational learning or social learning. For example, bullying. Bullying is a matter of observational learning. Laughing is a matter of observational learning. Aggression, general aggression, is a matter of observational learning. Have you seen the movie Joker?
Joker.
You see
Not
Joker?
not the most recent one, but I have seen past renditions, but not the most recent.
No, no, 2019.
No, I have not seen that one. The
Okay.
last one I
Also,
saw was Heath
also
Ledger.
you cannot see it with your young or little children. It is after
Mhm.
18. Okay, but see it as a manager, as a leader. You should watch the movie Joker. Why? Because it is talking about the observational learning, not only in the society of America, all around the world. And also another movie is Natural Born Killers. Natural Born Killers, it is about the 90s. Yes, it's an old movie I have seen about 25 years ago, but it is very, very different movie. Also very rude movie, very with a lot of killing scenes of killing and other things. But it is about natural components of human beings and also about social learning. You see that people are killing each other with pleasure. They are happy of killing each other. And also you can find something like it in in the movie Joker 2019. Because of that, you see that sometimes of bullying, sometimes of killing, sometimes of antisocial personality features you can find in a lot of people. For example, ISIS, do you know what is ISIS? Okay, in ISIS, you can find some children under the age of 12 that they are training these children for killing with the guns other people. And it is not about the religion. I am Muslim. It is not about the Islam. Not at all, not related to Islam. It is the fascistic part of thinking with the also with the flag of Islam, I know. But this is not Islam. As you know, a lot of people have been killed by the radical Christians, for example, 200 years ago. But it is not related to Jesus. Jesus never killed everybody, nobody, and he was very, very kind prophet. Okay, ISIS is about social learning. Why? Because other people, other children look at the movies that, wow, some children under age of 12 are killing other people's very direct with their gun in their hand. And a movement of bullying, a movement of radical, for example, radical religious thinking all around the world after ISIS. A lot of American, a lot of European people went to join with ISIS. It was shocked. American people was in Al Qaeda, was in ISIS. Also some people of America, some people of North Europe and Central Europe. Why? Because it is about observational learning. They learn by observing other people. That why not? We can do a lot of bullying behaviors in our society. And whenever and wherever and moreover more they have more personality disorders, there are a higher risk and higher rate of joining, for example, some terroristic groups like ISIS. Because of that, you should know about these observational learning in change management. Also, it is the negative parts, I know. But as a positive part, you should know the same models with a different content. We are talking about the content, not about the models. Models are the same. So, what is the difference between learning and development? Learning is about the content of change, and development is about the process of change. And what is the X factor between experience and learning? It is change.
Hmm.
Change. When can you say, yes, I have learned something from my experiences? When you experience changes in your behavior, in your thought, in your feelings. If you experience without any ending to change, it is only experiencing. It is knowledge. It is information. It is data. But no change has happened. If you have some changes after your experiences, those parts with changes is called learning. After learning, it is development. After development, it is achievement. So we have a model of achievement here for personal, educational, executive, leadership, leaders, managerial, supervisory, every aspect of development you want to create in yourself, in your family members, in your society, and specific in your future organizations. You see here? Okay. We talk about the freezing, unfreezing, and refreezing. It is the Court-Levin's process model. Have you heard anything about the hero's journey?
No.
Hero's journey, have you heard about it, Courtney, or not?
Yes.
What do you know about the hero's journey by Joseph Campbell?
The hero's journey is let me see, I'm trying to play on the spot. Let me gather my thoughts. There's like it's like the storyline of I know it in my mind. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it proper.
For example, how many children do you have?
Two.
Two. One of them is 9 and one of them is 7, I think. Okay.
8 and 9. Sorry, 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Okay. Motherhood is a journey, is a different social role. Before that, you played the role of to be a daughter for your mother, a wife for your husband, an employee for your employer, and a good citizen for your society. These are different personal social roles. A good prayer for God, even it can be a role, yes. The new role for the next, for example, last 9 years, it is motherhood, to be a mother. So you are passing and you are going through a story. After age of 12, your parental roles, you and your husband, will be changed. Why? Because the situation of childhood ends and your children enter the situation of adolescence. After 20, between 20 or 22, again, we have other changes, for example, in our parental roles, going from adolescence to young adulthood and after that. And also about ourselves. Life is a journey with different stopping stations, with different. One adolescence, for example, when you are between 35 to 65, you are entering the midlife crisis. And after 65, you are entering to the old aging crisis and old age stage of your life. Different stage of your life, different stage of your of the life of your family members, for example. Sometimes they are overlapping together, mixing together, and sometimes it creates some catastrophic situations. It is hero's journey, different 12 steps of any change you want to create in your life. At first, the first stage is always ordinary world. You are in your ordinary world without any need to change. So sometimes there are some need to change, but you are resistant to change. Two series of movies are based on hero journey. One, it is a Star Wars. The Star Wars series of movies is based on hero's journey, and the most famous movie based on hero's journey is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is the movies based on the hero's journey. If you find the hero's journey, if you study the hero's journey stages, you can find in every episode of Harry Potter one of them in the every episode. Okay?
I saw all the movies, Harry Potter.
Yeah. So I think it is a book title is Hero with Thousand Faces. A Hero with Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. Also, you can find a lot of matters in internet about the hero's journeys, and a lot of them talk about Harry Potter. That yes, in this part of, for example, in that part that owls are coming to the windows in Harry Potter 1 and say, yes, you should come without, for example, to castle. And Harry Potter is resisting with the owls that no, I don't want to leave this house. This is, for example, resistant to change, call to adventure, and refuse of adventure and other parts. And finally, it is about returning to home with a new gift and new miracle. And I want to talk to don't want to talk to you about the hero's journey because I can talk about it for 24 hours, completely 24 hours, at least 24 hours. So it is recommended to you that you should know about the hero journey. Is there anything, Amy, you want to talk about?
Mm,
You have raised your hand for talking, Amy, or not?
Oh, um,
Okay, no problem.
yes, like I used to like to watch like
Thank you.
all the um, all the Harry Potter movie
Yeah,
series.
yeah. Harry Potter movie has a lot of philosophical mind about the life. Also, it is symbolic, you know. Symbols talk with us with the hidden meaning of life. And Harry Potter and other, for example, there's a animation so called I think it is Inside Out. Inside Out 2015. The Oscar winning animation is called Inside Out. It is about five major main human emotions.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, yeah. So we have an old stage, an old state. It is the status quo. It is the ordinary world. It is called comfort zone,
Hmm.
old state. And after that, you are preparing yourself, or you are in the readiness stage, you are in the preparation stage, and unfreezing awareness of need for change. Is it enough awareness? No, awareness is not enough. You should be motivated to create your change in your life. Without the need to create your change in your life, no, unfreezing doesn't accept anything for going to the other parts and other stages. After that, it is change. It is Levin's process of change model. Movement from old state to new state, creating a lot of external and internal changes in your life. And after that, you enter the state of refreezing the change. What is the meaning of refreezing? You create the changes in the changing state, and in refreezing, you practice the changes until the time when you look at your present lifestyle, you cannot find the changes as the new things. The changes have become your lifestyle. In that time, it is refreezing. So at the end of the hero's journey, the gifts and the miracles you have created in your life, they are not new, they are in your lifestyle. It is something like, for example, regular practice, daily regular practice. In a sports psychology, they say that for regular practice it is very hard to start it, and after becoming your lifestyle it is very hard to stop it. Everybody, for example, experience running for 40 days. After 40 days, if one day he or she cannot run, for example, for 1 hour, he has something like withdrawal syndrome in substance abuse. When you have substance abuse for a long time, after quit the abusing the substance, after quit your addiction, you have a lot of withdrawal syndrome. For example, in a sport, you can see starting the sport is very hard, and after it becomes your lifestyle, stopping the sport is also very hard. Because of that, when you can say we have refreeze our changes in the stage of refreezing, at the end of the stage of refreezing, anybody, including yourself also, when you're looking at your new lifestyle, you cannot find the changes. Why? Because at the same time, they are not the changes, they are your routine life because of practicing and progressing. The continuous change process model. We have some questions in developmental psychology, the basic questions about the development of human beings. It is very near, and it has very close meaning to the continuous models of planned organizations, planned changes in an organization. For example, one of the questions in developmental psychology is that, is there any specific different stages for development, a lifelong development or not? We have a very continuous, not stages, continuous process of change in in life. For example, from childhood to adolescence, from adolescence to adulthood, from adulthood to midlife, and from midlife to old age. Is there any specific stages for these long running time of their life or not? It is a continuous process. And so we can find some different qualities between, for example, adolescence and young adulthood. Yes, but we cannot a specific point, a specific age for creating and changing and converting from one stage to another stage, from one state to another state. It is very continuous. It is one of the basic first questions in developmental psychology. And the continuous change process model says us that incorporates the forces for change, a problem-solving process, a change agent, and the transition management. Sometimes it is called transition management. Sometimes it is called change management. What is difference between change management and transition management? Is there any difference or not?
Mm, I think there is some differences.
What are the differences?
So like you mean like the difference between change or
Transition management and change management.
oh mm,
Forces for change, a problem-solving process, a change agent, and a transition management. Is there any difference between transition management or change management or not? They are the same. What do you think, Courtney? What is the meaning of transition management?
I think they are relatively the same because transition management would just be owning the actual transition process,
Uh-huh.
and the change and agent would be the enforcer of the change, or
Uh-huh.
the one that implements and kind of is in charge of seeing it. And then transition is to make
Yeah.
sure that it's all going through. Like
Transition is the terminal stage of change. It's the final stage. It's the end stage.
to make sure the new system is working proper.
Yeah. It's transition management. But change management is a whole and overall perspective, an overall management for all the stages. From a stage of one, creating the need for change, till the ending stage. To the ending stage. It is transition management. Transition is the final stage of change management. Takes a top management perspective. We talk about the top management team, TMT, and perceive forces and trends that indicate need for change. The basic, the most crucial, the most fundamental element of change is the need for change. Awareness of the need for change and feeling the need for change determines alternatives for change. It's very important. What are the alternative resources? What are the alternative pathways? What are the alternative choices that we want to consider as a change, and selects the appropriate alternative, okay? What we have and what we can do. It is different. We have a lot of alternatives, yes. But what are the appropriate alternatives? Is any alternative appropriate for our change? No. We should have some considering criteria, some fitness and fitting criteria between the present alternatives and appropriate alternatives. If we want to choose another word instead of using appropriate alternative, we can use the word fitted alternative, matched alternative. What alternative items are matched between me and you, between the present situation and ideal situation? We can see a continuous change process model, organizational change.
I can
What?
I can see the
Can you see it?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is change agent, at first forces for change. Two, recognize and define the problem. Problem solving begins with the first step. What is the first step of problem solving? The first step of problem solving is problem definition. If you cannot define your problem so clearly, you cannot solve it. You pay a lot of money, you spend a lot of time, you do a lot of trial, a lot of efforts, but finally your problem will not be solved. Why? Because at first you don't know what's your problem. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Ambiguous people, confused people about their problems cannot never solve their problems. Never. Why? Because when I asked them, what is your problem? They said, I have a lot of pain in my life. I said, so what is your problem? It is your total difficulty, total deficiency in your life. What is your problem? And after that, we will teach them how to define their problem. For example, after that, they said, I have some problems in walking, in daily walking, because of my pain. For example, in my lower parts of my foot. That's good. A close stage to clearly definition of problem. And after that said, because of the pain in my foot fingers, I said, that's good. And after that, we will, for example, send them for X-ray and other parts for diagnosis and treatment. So assessment, before that, let me ask you a question. What is the difference between assessment and evaluation? Is there any difference or not? In a change process, in the process of creating change, what is the difference between assessment and evaluation?
An assessment is an overview of something, and an evaluation is after you observed it. The
Uh-huh.
assessment is like
You are
how-
getting near. You are getting near. Yeah.
and the evaluation is the after effect, I guess, like kind of like your grading or your
Perfect. It is the same difference between data and information. What is the difference between data and information? Do you know? Is there any differences between data and information, or no? Data is the same information, information is the same data.
I think they are the same meaning.
The same meaning, but the not same fact, not same nature. They are different. For example, I enter some data to my computer and I will receive information from my computer. What has been done here in my computer that data convert and change and switch to information? I say, I will give my computer data and I will receive information. What has my computer done on the data to transform the data to information? What is the brain of computer? Which part of computer is called the brain of computer? Do you know? What is the brain of computer?
Computer?
Yeah, what is the brain of computer?
Oh, I know.
I know too.
Computer means it's the, well,
No, the brain of computer. What is the major part of calculation, processing? I also name one of the keywords of brain of computer processing.
output, input, output.
What is different? What is the in the middle a mediatory factor between input and output?
Oh, it's the,
Yes.
um,
Do you know anything, Courtney, about it or not? Computer has a part so-called central processing unit, CPU.
yes, CPU.
CPU is central processing unit. It is the brain of computer. Your heart, your RAM is something like your memory, is something your nervous system. But the cortex of your computer, cortex is the higher functioning part of your brain. It is cortex, brain cortex. The cortex of your computer is called central processing unit, CPU. So data is not the same information. Why? Because you enter with your keyboard to your computer, your data, and data will go to your central processing unit of your computer. And the result of processing is called information. Information is processed data. Data is not processed. Informations are processed. Information is processed data. It is the major difference between data and information. And what is the difference between assessment and evaluation? Again, at the same page. Assessment is gathering data. Assessment is the starting point of the process. Evaluation is about the result of process. Assessment is gathering information, what we have now. It is assessment, gathering information, gathering data. And after that, we enter the data gathering by the assessment process to the change process. And finally, we have some result of our change. Those results are evaluation. So we do evaluation on the results. Results evaluation is about output, but assessment is a matter of input, not output. Between them, there we have change process. So, what do you know about executive coaching? What is executive coaching? I think, for example, Courtney can be a good executive coach in the next 2 years. What is executive coaching? She is paying money for tuition of her BS in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and after 2 years, she will decide to be an executive coach. What is executive coach? Who is executive coach? What is the functions of the executive coach? Is there any difference between a manager and an executive coach? Talk to me, Courtney.
It would be like customized trainings and like a very based on the individual like needs.
And other things?
Jaime, what do you think?
What?
Yeah. What is executive coaching? We have different types of coaching for organizations. Business coaches, sales coaches, executive coaches. One of the greatest and very moneymaker coaches called leadership coaches, very, very money-making. Also, it is very hard, very hard. Leadership coaching is very hard, but very good money-making job for coaches. These are the different types of coaching for organization. They are called career coaching, organizational coaching, sales coaching, leadership coaching, business coaching, and also Stanford has a course for 5 days, I think, 5 or 3 days in-person course for executive coaching. As Courtney says, in executive coaching, at first we gather information about the present situation of the organization, what we have now, what the problems we have, what the positive points we have, what are the negative points we have. For example, one of the greatest negative points in executive coaching is about the turnover of the organization. How many people will leave organization and how many people are hiring again. It is the turnover. It is not a good criteria for a stable organization. Higher rate of turnover shows the weakness in management and leadership of organization. Because of that, as an executive coach, you enter an organization and gathering information about the present situation of the organization. And after that, you process, and as Courtney says, you customize the data with the present and the future desirable state. Present state, desirable state. Desirable state is always in the future, not in the present time. If it is in the present time, so you don't need any type of coaching. Why you hire a coach for your organization? Because you think that we have some problems that stop our organization from going forward, from advancing, from progressing, from developing. Because of that, we want to hire, for example, an executive coach for our organization. Change agent. You know, dominant people,
Hmm.
sometimes they are not so lovely people. They are dominant people. They want to overcome anything and everything in the organization. Sometimes dominant people are change agents. They are not ready for change. They are not ready for change. They are change agents. Influencing people are ready for change, but dominant people are change agents, the agent of creating change, a person responsible for managing a change effort. And the next part is assist management with problem recognition or definition. It is very important. Can be involved in generating or evaluating potential action plans. Can be from inside or outside of the organization. Yes, you see, a lot of change agents in the organization are not from the organization. Sometimes it is very good to hire another manager, another coach, another change agent from outside the organization. Why? Because he or she is not involved with the ordinary state and ordinary stage of the organization and can have a global and total perspective about the different elements of organization. Implements the change. It's very important. Oh, do you know anything about the DISC personality assessment, DISC? Have you heard about it or not? DISC, DISC personality assessment for organization from the TTISI. The company is called TTISI, Success Insight. DISC assessment, DISC, dominant, influencer, and other parts, supportive and coordinating.
Dominant?
Dominant, yeah. It is, you can type DISC, DISC, personality assessment, or DISC test, or DISC profile. You can find a lot of good data about these four types of personality, especially in organization. Implementary people are the 8 parts of insight wheels of success. We have some structure in DISC assessment. It is called success index or success involvement wheel of success or success insight, different definition. It is SI, success insight or success involvement wheel. It's a wheel and it has 8 segments with 60 segments and sections. And finally, at the first 8 segments, which are very important, the eighth part is implementary people, people who finished and complete the unfinished business of an organization. They are implementary people, something between dominant people and coordinate people, and analytical people. These are the typology of personality for different people and organization. So to implement a change is very important. Why? Because of that, we can find people how to complete the change and what are our results. Measure, evaluate, control the desired result. You see here, we have the word evaluate, not assessment. Evaluate the desired result. And transition management, the final item for this session is transition management, process of systematically planning, organizing, and implementing change. What is the differences between planning and organizing? Is there any difference or not? Between planning and organizing. Implementing is very clear. It is about behaviors, it's about actions, about doing. But what are the differences between planning and organizing, systematically planning or organizing in transition management? What are the defining factor? What are the determining factor, distinguishing factors between planning and organizing? How do you think? It is the last question for this semester. What are the differences between planning and organizing?
So planning, it means like um um like like to plan something, like you need to get like more like
Knowledge and other things.
and like some like ideas.
I just not gonna talk.
So figuring out what needs to be done is planning, and organizing is starting to implement the getting everything ready that you need for the plan.
Do you remember the model of visions, missions, and strategy I talked to you in the previous sessions? The organization have some visions and they describe their missions and what is the tools to connecting the missions to the vision. It is a strategy, three components: missions, strategy, visions. At first begins with visions. Secondly, you should define your missions, and finally you should know your strategy. It is something like that: planning, organizing, implementing, something like that. Missions, visions, and a strategy. Strategy is the implementary part, step by step, but it is future oriented. It is not about this time only. It is about the future of the organization, about the visions of the organization. Why it is called vision? Because we haven't reached to that point up to now. It is our vision. Even your life, everybody should have 4 points for happiness. One of the fundamentals of happiness is to have vision. Vision of your life is something that give you the meaning of life. If you don't have any vision of your life about your future, you will lose your meaning of life. Okay, let's go for 15 minutes of rest, and after that, just at 9. Also, you can do it just now. It is not important. If you are not tired, let me show you you have 1 hour after entering the final exam, and let me check with you.
But what is the password?
No, you go for 15 minutes, 10 minutes resting, and after that, because if you enter just now, you are a little tired, and only 1 hour you have for final exam. Um, near 7 p.m. I will enter the room again and will show you the password to enter the final exam. Okay?
And Dr. Take, is it okay if I leave this computer on? Because this is my husband's computer. It has the Zoom, but I can log into my laptop right here.
Yes, yes. Why
On
not?
this.
Why not?
Okay. So I
In
can
this
have it.
interesting time, you can do it. No problem. Why not?
Okay.
We
Thank
will
you.
come again at 7 p.m.
7.
Bye. Okay, let's go for the. Can you see the
Okay.
password? Can you see the password?
What?
Leadership. The password is leadership.
The password?
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Why? Courtney, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, Hemi, I think it is related to your computer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the password is leadership. Can you enter the exam?
Let me just check.
I'm beginning now.
Okay, good luck.
Let me just check.
Okay.
Let's see. No, not that. Let me just check.
Have you entered?
No. I'm in my Moodle page. Let me just see. My internet is too slow today.
No worries. No worries.
Because I'm in my aunt's house and the Wi-Fi, I think, is too slow. Let me just check if it works. Yes, I am in the final exam.
Good luck. Start
But
it.
wait, what is the password?
Leadership.
Is it not all capital letters?
No.
Small letters.
Yeah, small letter.
Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, it works.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
No, good luck. Good
Oh.
luck.
Oh, thank you. Hmm. Hmm.
Is it finished?
I am almost finished.
Okay. And what about you, Courtney?
2 more minutes.
More minutes. Okay. I was so happy to be with you during this semester, and I wish see you in the MBA and doctorate degree course.
Me too. I really like the organizational theory and behavior.
Okay.
And
I wish to be.
it was really helpful for me to study.
You are a hard worker student. So hard worker. So good. You will have a good future. Very good future. Don't stop your trying, your efforts.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. And I will announce the grades, I think, at the worst scenario after 10 days. Bye, everybody.
Have a nice
Bye.
evening. I'm
Yeah.
in day now.